It's been a year and a half, 18 months it's been since we heard about this last. Quite a fucking long time. You could have like a kid in 18 months, maybe 2. Maybe 7. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're here to go ahead and talk about the Fast and Furious game. So for those of you that don't know, I'm going to quickly go ahead and talk about what is actually going on. So essentially, back in May of 2017, Slightly Mad Studios, the guys that make Project Cars, teased a Hollywood blockbuster franchise game deal. The CEO of Slightly Mad Studios, Ian Bell, then went on to go ahead and tease about the possible fact it could be Fast and Furious. He then went on to mention that this was a thing where he wanted to take Need for Speed down, and the only franchise that is somewhat related to Fast and Furious recently is Need for Speed. I don't think there's any other game that is necessarily like doing anything Fast and Furious-esque other than Need for Speed right now. So that's the kind of the short answer. I'm gonna link a video down in the description from a year ago where I talk about what the actual game is gonna be about and, you know, whether it's gonna be any good, that kind of stuff. What I kind of want to talk about today is kind of a follow-up to that video I made a year ago in September of last year. What is going on with this Fast and Furious game? Now I want to get some things cleared before we go ahead and talk about the game itself. The CEO of Slightly Mad Studios is called Ian Bell. He's done a lot of shady things in the past. There was a whole controversy with Project Cars 1. He would basically set up a Kickstarter, and then the max level Kickstarter you could pay was like 10 grand, but you'd only get like a night in like a 5-star hotel, a meal, a copy of the game, and a few other things like a track experience. It basically didn't add up anywhere near to 10k, and it was one of those things that was just a bit of an insult. It seems a bit greedy. He's been known to ban people from the Kickstarter forums for Project Cars 1, where people were giving constructive feedback and they just kind of shot him down and said, even though you've backed our game, we're going to ban you from the forums. So there is multiple things about this guy which is a bit shady, and Slightly Mad Studios overall, I don't really look at them as a very reputable developer. Even though Project Cars 2 is very good, Project Cars 1 had a lot of problems, and the problems that they've had behind the scenes have really kind of affected at least my view of their games. That's just my personal opinion. I have anything against the guys over there at Slightly Mad Studios. Obviously, I don't really care. Like, if Ian Bell is a dickhead, that doesn't bother me. I don't play those games. But what I do play is arcade races. And what I would play is Fast and Furious. Now, I'm assuming that the game, if it was going to be a straight competitor to Need for Speed, then you're obviously going to have customization. You're going to have, you know, a very kind of, it's going to have to be more suited to the older Fast and Furious, not the new ones. I feel like if they were going to make a game about the modern Fast and Furious they probably would have got an FPS developer on, because it's more shooty instead of cars. I feel like the reason why they've got Slightly Mad on is because they want to kind of take it back to the roots, and in terms of like they want to bring it back to customization and street racing, at least with the game. And if you were to ask me, I would think that this game would probably be coming out with the next film, which I believe, and I'm going to quickly Google this. What are we on? Is it 9 or 8? It's 9. Fucking hell, they made a lot of films. Comes out in 2020. So 2 years. Now, if we rewind all this back to 2017 and you kind of put this out on a scale, 3 years development time is a lot of development time for a racing game. But we've not heard anything about this project since last year. So it leaves me to think one of two things. Either the game is in deep development and we've not heard anything, they've gone really, really quiet, or the game has been canned. Now, the reason why I'm following up to this is kind of links into what I said about the guy called Ian Bell. He's known to be a bit weird. He's known to be a bit shady. He's known to be like, you know, a little bit off. I don't know if this doesn't go through to me, and this was just one of those things where he just spewed something out earlier than it actually happened, and the business part of the business end of this deal didn't come through, or something fell through in terms of the development. Whatever it is, if this doesn't happen to me, it makes me think very lowly of Slightly Mad Studios. I already didn't really get like there with them. I didn't really think they were the most reputable of developers, but now that they've said a year ago that this is happening and we haven't heard anything, or very little to nothing, it's like it just puts them in a bad place, really. Fast and Furious very much proved that they want to be in the gaming space. We've seen it with Forza, with the Horizon 2 expansion. It wasn't really an expansion, it was more like a demo. We've seen it with the constant support for Fast and Furious cars in DLCs in Forza. But now I've kind of noticed that Fast and Furious cars are kind of taking a step away from Forza, and instead Hoonigan is kind of coming in their spot. I've noticed instead of having a very big Fast and Furious influence in Forza now, Hoonigan's kind of taking that step. And to be quite frank, I prefer that. Suits what Forza's doing. Forza is a bit more of a car head game, you know, as my Fast and Furious is a bit more casual. I like to see that the cars like the Hoonicorn and the truck and stuff and the Escort, I like to see those cars in the game. I'd like to see a Fast and Furious kind of be separate to Forza, but it begs the question, are we getting the game? This is where I'm going to kind of ask you guys this question, because it's one of those ones that's not really a straight cut answer, it's kind of more of a discussion. Do you think this game's going to happen? Did you even know about this game before I made this video? I know that this is something which hasn't been talked about by a lot of people. I know I might be one of the very few people that have actually made videos on this, just generally. But let me know what you think. Would you be interested in a Fast and Furious game if they were to kind of rival Need for Speed in terms of customization and street racing? Would you want to see it more on the kind of shooty bang bang side? Is really interesting. I'm reading this now and it's very weird, because he says in this article we won't see any official unveiling for a few months, but it's been a year. I don't know. I don't trust Slightly Mad, to be honest, with their things. Yeah, they've been very shady, and I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's been canned. I think this has been canned. I don't think we're going to get a Fast and Furious game. I think this is probably going to be the last video you hear about me speaking about this game. I hope it happens, because more competition is more competition, but I've got a funny feeling that this probably isn't going to happen. The Crew 2 might be the last The Crew 2 game, and that really leaves us with Forza and Need for Speed in the arcade space. Here's to hoping that we have a prosperous future ahead of us. But in terms of arcade races, well, you've got Forza, which is on PC and Xbox, and then anyone who's on PS4, let's fucking hope Need for Speed come through next year. And I honestly, like, deep down, there's part of me deep down, I think they're gonna do it next year. You can take my word for it or not, but I've got a good feeling about Need for Speed, and I don't know why. And I feel like I have this every single year. Let's hope that this time Ghost doesn't let us down. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe, and peace.